So today I am back showing you what I am going to do with some of all those garlic scapes. So I'm going to show you our favorite way we like to use them and then some of the other ways that we use them up. So I've got, let's see, 5 garlic scapes here, and I've got a jar of about 18, I think, hard-boiled eggs. So I already hard-boiled these. I threw them in a jar till I had time, and today we are pickling eggs with garlic scapes. Pickled eggs are one of those things I thought I didn't like until I actually tried them. They are delicious. If you like pickles or you like anything fermented like, they just remind me of something like that. In fact, I think this recipe has kind of a cheese-like flavor when you let it sit for a while, so that's why I really love it. I've got everything out to make 1 quart of the pickled eggs with the garlic scapes. Now typically I do 2 quarts at a time, but all those other eggs that I hard boiled, the family has already eaten. So we're just gonna make 1 quart today. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add onions to my eggs. These are already peeled in the jar. I typically would add 1 whole cut up onion, and I would just cut it in slices. We love pickled onions, so it's a great way to do that. But I don't have any fresh onions. I still have bags and bags in the freezer, so I'm just gonna put about 1 cup of these chopped up onions in here. Now, if I had been doing the eggs at the same time, I would put some of this on the bottom, kind of layer it. But since my eggs are already in here, I'm just doing it this way. I am going to be turning it every so often. Whenever I open the fridge, I'll tip it up, kind of give it a good shake so that everything's getting mixed up good. I'm going to add my garlic scapes. Now I already washed these, so I'm just going to add them. I have 4 in here. Now I would just use whatever I have. I'm going to twist them up really well, so hopefully they are under the brine. Now I'm really trying not to break my eggs, so I'm being careful as I'm pushing down here. I don't want to get any holes in my eggs and kind of give an option for spores or mold growth or anything like that to grow inside here. I am going to be keeping my eggs in the fridge. I do not keep them on the shelf, mainly for that reason. But in case you're trying that, to each their own. This is the safest way I feel about it. I'm going to be adding some cayenne, and I just have some ground up cayenne. This is from peppers we grew, I think it's like 3 or 4 years. This has lasted forever. We just had 1 really good year. So I'm going to add about ½ a teaspoon. I don't really measure this kind of stuff. I'm using whole peppercorns. I have used regular pepper before too when I was out of these, but whole peppercorns I think work the best. And I'm going to add about ½ a teaspoon. I'm also using pickling spice. Now I really want to try making my own pickling spice because I don't typically love the store-bought stuff. I think it has nutmeg or something in it that I just don't care for. Allspice. That's it. Allspice. Ugh. It's just not right to me in pickled items. But this much in here isn't going to make a huge difference. It's just adding flavor. So about a tablespoon of that. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of salt. Now I'm using pickling salt, and here's what I'm going to say about this. Oops, I got a hole in the bottom. Just pour it that way, I guess. Now the whole point in using the pickling or the canning salt is so that you don't have that cloudy business in your stuff. So as far as canning, it's not really like a safety issue. Again, these are going in the fridge, so I'm not too worried about that. But it's just going to make your food look prettier, clearer. If I didn't have this on hand, I would just use regular salt. Let's see, I think I'm going to skip most of the garlic. I normally would put at least a clove in, or at least one bulb in, but I think I'm going to do like, this is a smaller bulb, so I think I'm going to do at least half of this. Let's see what it looks like. My garlic is getting to the point where it's not in the best condition anymore. So I've got 3 more bulbs up here, and I think I have 4 or 5 or so left in the root cellar area, and that's it for the year. So we won't be getting new garlic until July. So again, why I want to preserve these garlic scapes, so we have some of that in the meantime. Alright, I am going to add it all. It's not looking the greatest, but it's not going to last very long on my counter anyways, so might as well get it all in there. I'm just throwing them whole in here, basically, taking off the peels. Got this handy thing from, I think it's Jenny at Minnesota Mama Bear sent this to us, and it is really super handy. Alright, what didn't I add yet? I'm going to add some turmeric. Now this is a really strong flavor, so sometimes I will leave it out depending on if we're making this for someone else. I might leave it out, but I really like this flavor, so I'm going to add about that much, about half a teaspoon. Add a little bit more. Alright, just checking that I got everything in. So the last thing to add is our vinegars and salt. Now, I prefer a mix of vinegar and apple cider vinegar. Matt actually prefers this made with just all regular vinegar. And then we add a little bit of sugar too. Now we've tried to cut down the sugar a little bit, but we found that it still needs to taste good. We want to be able to enjoy it. So I am going to be using about half a cup of sugar. So it is a lot of sugar for this jar, so I don't drink the brine by any means. Now we want a total of 4 cups of vinegar. So if I were making this just for me, I would do a cup of apple cider vinegar and then 3 cups of regular vinegar. But this isn't just for me, this is for everybody. So I'm going to use about half a cup. Well, we'll see what we've got. I don't really have a ton in here. Can't actually see the half cup measurement, but about half a cup, and then I'm going to do the rest regular vinegar. I'll have to get another jug. Vinegar is something I keep on hand, like 3 or 4 bottles at all times, and I am down to like 2 bottles. And this time of year, there's just so much going on with vinegar. I use it in our laundry. I use it to make some quick dressings and just all sorts of stuff. So I've got about 4 cups of vinegar, and then I'm going to use about half a cup of sugar, and I am going to heat this up. We've tried just dumping it in. In the summer, it's kind of a pain to be heating up the house. So I've tried it. I don't think it gets the flavor as good. So I'm going to heat this up on the stove real quick. Now I'm going to heat that up just until the sugar dissolves. So I was looking over my recipe and realized I forgot one important ingredient. Water. I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of water to my vinegar and sugar mixture as it's cooking. I think I needed a bigger pot. So before I dump this on the eggs, I'm just gonna let it cool down. I did put the eggs in the fridge so that they don't get warmed up because it is hot today. The eggs cooled down. Well, not the eggs. The eggs did cool down, but the brine cooled down. So I'm gonna pour this over the top. I am going to leave a little bit of room so I can kind of shake them up. All right, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna kind of shake it up. If you're concerned that yours is gonna leak, certainly tip it over your sink, that's fine. But I think Matt's gonna actually say this one has too much color for him, like too much apple cider vinegar. But anyways, it is finished, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge. Now, we will try not to eat this for at least 2 weeks. I usually just put a date on the top of when it's ready by, so that we try not to touch it till then, because the longer you wait, the better they taste. Since I am in full-blown pickling mode, I am actually going to save any extra brine for next time. If I wasn't, I would probably just toss it. I just always want to make sure I have more than enough. And it definitely depends on the size of your eggs, everything. Does anyone else have so many things in jars in your fridge that you almost need to label them to know what they all are? Using this jar so it's all ready for the next batch of eggs. I can't be the only one. Bacon grease, coffee, some enchilada sauce, sweet pickles, regular pickles, honey garlic, syrup, maple syrup, the eggs, the leftover brine, some apple cider vinegar. Lots in here. Actually, not very much in here, but a lot in jars. So I took the rest of our garlic scapes that we have so far, and they are in the dehydrator. What I will do when they are done is I will powder them up, and it will just be like a green garlic powder. So I hope you enjoyed this video, seeing what we do with our garlic scapes. And if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and glad you got to see me again. Bye.